changing our world through storytelling. Self-love. Adre, the smart, handsome boy, gradually lost his confidence. His friends teased him because he was fat. Adre felt intimidated anytime he got close to people, not only his classmates. Whenever he saw 2 or more people gathered, he felt he was a topic for discussion. This affected him academically too. Some teachers used him as an example in class, and this did not sit well with him. He didn't have the courage to answer questions in class. Whenever he was alone, he thought of his weight. Adre thought of early morning walks. He started with so much zeal and later gave up. He changed the weight loss exercise plan to dieting. He started the diet and after weeks, he gave up. Adre got depressed and did not know what to do. Eating made him happy, but right after eating, he regretted eating so much and burst into tears. On one of the days during vacation, Adre was listening to jazz instrumental and picked his flute to play along. He stood in front of the giant mirror on the corridor and danced as he played. He felt good and relaxed. Adre smiled, and as he looked at himself in the mirror, he said to himself, "Why do I allow what others say about me have a negative effect on me? I am handsome, intelligent, and wear a beautiful smile. But when did being fat become a crime? They are slim, and I am fat, and so what? I need to love my handsome self and be proud of who I am. Why do I also get offended when anyone calls me fat? So if I'm asked to write about myself, how will I describe myself? Of course, I am fat and not slim. I have to love myself because if I don't, others will not, and they will say more negative things to dampen my spirit. I am me. Till I find a solution to this, I am still me, and that is the truth. Till I find a solution to my weight, whenever I am called Obolo, I'll respond, "Oh yes, the one and only Obolobo." Adre said all these smiling. He took advantage of the holidays and worked on accepting who he was. His parents noticed that he was getting livelier each day. Days went by and school reopened. Adre prepared feverishly for school. He read enough on the various topics and was prepared to answer questions in class. After assembly, his mates Chemu and Pebi made fun of him. He turned, looked at them smiling. He said, "Oh yes, that's me, Adre Obolo, the one and only Obolobo. All the others are fake." They were surprised at Adre's reaction. When Mrs. Affle entered the class, she introduced Kakeku, a newcomer. This newcomer was tall and scrawny. Most pupils turned to look at him, and this made him feel odd. When Mrs. Affle left the class, Entre shouted, "Now we have Nchanga and Inoma." The entire class burst out laughing. Kakeku knew he would be an object of ridicule in the school. He felt so sad on his first day in his new school. He didn't want to go to school the next day, but he had no choice. When he got to school, Adre was the only one in the class. He greeted him, cleaned his chair, and sat down. Adre responded, stood up, and as he walked towards Kakeku, Kakeku was scared that Adre was going to make fun of him. Adre gave him a hand and said, "I am Kofi Adre Asempa." And Kakeku responded, "I am also Kakeku Jampo." Adre said, "I noticed you were very quiet in class yesterday. Why?" Kakeku looked at Adre and said, "I thought I was leaving my former school to escape being ridiculed. I didn't know I was moving from frying pan to fire." Adre said to Kakeku, "My friend, you'll have to accept and love yourself. It's not a crime that you are lanky. You didn't create yourself, did you? When you are asked in an essay to describe yourself, will you say you are fat? I used to feel depressed and lonely, but I made up my mind to accept the fact that I am fat. Please think about it and don't let this bother you." Kakeku thanked Adre and they became friends. During Mr. Obeng's class, a question was asked and Adre raised his hand to answer. Mr. Obeng was surprised to see Adre's hand up. He said, "Hey, Obolo, give us the answer." Adre stood up smiling and said, "Say, this is the one and only Obolobu. All the others are fake." Everyone laughed. He then answered the question. Mr. Obeng was glad to see Adre participate in class. Kakeku learned from Adre and paid no attention to the negative comments made about him. My dear friends, no one can love you better than you love yourself. Don't allow your looks to weigh you down. Be your wonderful self. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. Your comments are also appreciated. A story a day, changing our world through storytelling.